Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at parallel and perpendicular lines. So up until now, we've learned how to graph our linear equations, create our linear equations, and now today we're going to be looking at what that means for when we have parallel lines. So first of all, when we have parallel lines are often two lines. When I say often, I mean they are always, that never meet. They have so much in common, but they never get together. Now, the other thing they have in common is that they also have the same slope. So let's say this is line 1, and this is line 2. Then the slope of line 1, that's slope, is equal to the slope of line 2. They both have the exact same slope. Perpendicular lines are, on the other hand, are two lines that meet each other in just the right way. You can see my pun there, yes. Bad pun. Just the right way. Yeah, they hit each other at a 90-degree angle, the two lines. And if you use your imagination, that should be a 90-degree angle. Yes, I realize that is bigger. That's what happens when you don't have a ruler. But what is so special about these two perpendicular lines? Well, other than hitting each other at a 90-degree angle, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. So, if this is line 1, and this is line 2, then we can say that the slope of the perpendicular line, so this means the slope of the perpendicular line. And if you're looking at these two lines, you have this line here, which means the perpendicular line for it would be this. If this is the line, then this would be the perpendicular line to this line. So the perpendicular line is the negative reciprocal of the other line. So, for example, e.g., if the slope of line 1 was negative 1 over 2, then the slope of the perpendicular line would be, you would take the reciprocal, and reciprocal means that you do the flip-flop, so what was on the bottom goes to the top, what was on the top goes to the bottom, and then you change its sign. So because it was originally negative, my negative reciprocal is going to be positive. Now, of course, I can simplify this because 2 divided by 1 is just 2. Okay? Now, there's another neat trick and another neat thing that we call an identity, and that is when I take the two slopes, so if I take my first slope and multiply it by my perpendicular slope, and this is a little way for you to figure out whether you're correct or not, they should give you -1. And we can test this out here, because if I take -1/2 and multiply it by 2 over 1, I'm going to get -2 divided by 2. which is -1. So it works out, which means these two slopes are definitely perpendicular to each other. So let's see how this would work in terms of examples. Alrighty, so here I have two examples lined up, and I'll separate them up. Now remember, at any one point in this video, if you feel like you know how to do these, by all means, pause the video, try it out yourself, then unpause and compare to your answer and see if you got it right. So in the first one, I'm asking, what is the parallel line to y is equal to -3x plus 5 that crosses the point 3, 2? Alright, now the steps I'm about to write down are basically the same steps we would do every single time, okay? So the first step is we need to find the slope of the original. Well, in this case, that's very much easy because my slope of the original is -3, and I can see it right away. Now, I know people are reading this step and saying, why is this even here if it's that easy? Well, what happens if it was originally in standard form? In which case, you would have to, if it was in standard form, place into y is equal to mx plus b form. But that's already done here, so we got to skip step 1. In step 2, well, for parallel, create a new equation with the same slope for parallel, or the negative reciprocal. For perpendicular. Alright, so to do that, we're going to come on in here, and in our new equation we're going to go y is equal to, well, my slope is -3, that's my original slope, so -3 x plus b, and you can see the rest is different. I don't know what my b is. And your third step, sub the given point for x and y to find b. Alright. So let's do that. I'm going to sub 3, 2. So instead of y, I'm going to have 2. And instead of x, I'm going to have 3. Alright, plus b. And isolate for b. So you're going to have -3 times 3, which is going to give me -9, which is equal to 2, plus b. So b is equal to, you're going to add 9 to both sides. That's going to give me 11. So therefore, my equation is y is equal to -3x plus 11. Alright. So let's apply these to our second example. Again, if you feel like you know what you're doing already up at this point, pause, try it yourself, and then compare. Alright, so my slope is still going to be -3. So the perpendicular slope, remember, is the negative reciprocal of -3, which means it's going to be, remember, imagine there's a 1 on the bottom. It's going to be 1 over 3. Because we started with negative, the reciprocal is going to be positive, and then we flip-flopped to get 1 over 3. Okay? So let's continue from here. So we make our equation, follow our second step here. So 1/3 x plus b. Let's substitute our point in. So we're going to have 2 is equal to 1/3 times 3 plus b. The 3's are going to cancel out here, which is going to leave me with 2 is equal to 1 plus b. So b is equal to, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, 1. So therefore, my equation here is going to be y is equal to 1/3 x plus 1. All right? And that's how to find it when we have everything we need. So now I'm going to give you an example where we're going to have to actually do our first step here, which is in standard form. All right, so let's take a look at our final two examples here. So here we have what is the parallel line to 3x minus 7y plus 3 is equal to 0. That crosses 1, 4. Now, unlike in the first example where the slope was given to you on a silver platter, in this case, I cannot tell what the slope is. So you need to follow the first step, which is putting this back into slope-intercept form. All right? So I'm going to just rewrite this here. So I'm going to move the 7y to the other side. It'll become positive. All right, and I'm also, so when I do that, let's do that here. So you're going to get 3x plus 3 is equal to 7y. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 7. Now when I divide both sides by 7, I'm going to divide them all individually. And that's because this way it's easier for me to tell what my slope is, because now this is going to turn into 3 over 7x plus 3 over 7 is equal to, and the 7's cancel out, leaving me with y. So the y is isolated. And from here, it's pretty easy to see that this is my slope. That's my original slope. So now I want a parallel line, which means, once again, you're going to make a new equation using that slope, that exact slope. Substitute our points in. So 4 is equal to 3 over 7 times 1 plus b. Okay, so there's many different things you can do at this stage. You can multiply it out, then move the whole fraction to the other side, do common denominators, or you can just choose to get rid of all this 7 by multiplying everything by 7. Okay, so that's going to give me 28 is equal to, the 7's cancel out, leaving me with 3 times 1, which is 3, plus 7b. So 7b is equal to 25. So I'm going to continue over here, which means b is equal to 25 over 7. So therefore, my equation is y is equal to 3 over 7x plus 25 over 7. Okay. And let's go into the second example now. Good thing is I already solved it out, so I already did step 1 over here. So it's still going to be the same slope, 3 over 7. But the perpendicular slope is going to be the negative reciprocal. So the 7 is going to be on the top, the 3 is going to be on the bottom, and it was positive, so it's going to be negative. Alright, so we make our equation. Substitute our point in. Let's do the same thing we did over here. Multiply everything by 3. 3 cancel out. 3 times 4 is 12. It's equal to negative 7 times 1, which is negative 7, plus 3b. 7 goes to the other side, leaving me with 3b is equal to 19. So b is equal to 19 over 3. So therefore, my equation is y is equal to negative 7 over 3 x plus 19 over 3. And that is it. That is how you do parallel and perpendicular lines using standard form and slope-intercept form. I hope that this has been helpful, and have a great day.